Hey, team. Welcome back to another episode of the Jenn Commandments podcast. I am your host, Jenn Wien. I'm an engineer currently working in Wisconsin. I grew up in the Chicagoland area and I went to college in Michigan. Hey. First of all, I want to tell you what this bitch Ariana said. All right, because it's been on my mind heavy. All right, she opens an album with an exclamation, right? She goes, "How can I tell if I'm in the right relationship? Aren't you really supposed to know that shit? Feel it in your bones and own that shit?" I don't know. Damn, bitch. Damn. And she's absolutely fucking right. She's a 30-year-old woman. How are you supposed to know if you're in the right relationship? Aren't you supposed to know that shit? Feel it in your bones and own that shit? I don't know. Yeah. So that's what I've been contemplating this week. Other than that, though, um, I went to a protest yesterday. It was very, oh my God. Protests make me feel a sense of motivation that basically nothing else gives me. I just feel such a closeness. I feel such. Dante, what are you doing? Hey, you're acting a little conspicuous. Anywho, I went to a protest, and this is my first protest that I've ever gone to in um, Wisconsin. So I was a little nervous because I don't know how Wisconsin folk get down. I didn't know what the counterculture was gonna look like. Like I have always protested in spaces where like Illinois is a predominantly left space, even if like Stager is not. Overall, overwhelmingly, Illinois is left, at least in the Chicagoland area. And so I feel like in Wisconsin it's a little bit more divided. So I was a bit more nervous for the counterculture of the protest, but um there weren't very many um trumpets, you know what I mean? But picture this. Okay, so my friend and I, we went around and we did the rounds. We had our little signs and we walked the all of downtown Appleton to like see how far it went and what have you. And as we were doing that, we got a little cold. We were like, okay, we've done all we can do. And so we were like, let's go drive up and down the road and like honk for support because like that's a part of it too. And so we did that, and then I start playing fuck Donald Trump, and now mind you and mind you I have a Kia Soul. Okay. I have a Kia Soul. And so I was bumping Fuck Donald Trump by YG and Nipsey. Uh, and if you know the song, there is a lot of they talk about a lot of shit that is still relevant, and in theory, that is their cause, right? That is what the protest was for. But it was two black men talking about the black experience or the person of color experience, because they talk about Mexican people as well. And they talk about immigration and whatever. And there was a lot of traffic because there was a huge, huge protest. I don't know how many people came to the Appleton protest, but it felt like maybe two or 3,000. There was a lot of people there, at least. So it was very congested in downtown Appleton, and I blared "Fuck Donald Trump" at the top of my volume capacity, and allowed those white folk of Wisconsin to feel those two black men talking about the American experience, and it made my adrenaline go very high. And there were times where we were stopped at red lights, and you can tell that, like, my friend and I could tell that it was uncomfortable for some of them. And as it should be, that's the whole point of these protests. That's the whole point of these movements, is to push yourself to be a little bit uncomfortable, right? And so um that's what we did. We blared fuck Donald Trump, you know. Dude, we also got in downtown Appleton, there's this place where you can get um ice cream sandwiches, but like they make the ice cream or the custard, but they also have brownies. So you could do like a ice cream sandwich with like one part being cookie and the other part being brownie. Holy fuck. If you know me, I'm a sweets girl. I love sugar. Um and yeah, so and you can pick the kind of cookie too. So I think they had like snickerdoodle, sugar, M&M, whatever. I think I got an M&M cookie, and then I got brownie, and then for the custard I think it was like peanut butter chocolate. What the fuck? Very decadent. So that's my first break of my no eating fast food. I don't know if that counts, but I I that's what I ate this week, and I don't regret it even a little bit. Um yeah. Uh April's a really really busy month. In theory, I should be stacking episodes right now, and I didn't think of that until right this second. um and so I'm excited. There's a lot of I'm going to see Trisha Paytas this month. That's my girl. That's my fucking girl, dude. Going to see Trisha Paytas. Going to see Kendrick and SZA in Minneapolis. It'll be their opening show. I am so excited to see them, and I'm so excited to go to Minneapolis. I haven't been there since I moved after my internship, and so it'll be so fun to go back to St. Paul and um, yeah, I should drive my friend past the mill. I want to show her the paper mill I used to work at. And so that'll be fun. I'm excited for that trip. And then it's my friend's birthday, so we're going to a Bucks game. And then I also have court. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I have court. I did find a lawyer that I really really liked. He's worked with cases that have gone all the way up to the Illinois Supreme Court for public service stuff. And so I not only for this case, like I'm comfortable with this, but this is a relationship that I think will be really beneficial for me in the future if I were to want to take activism further, you know. And so I don't know, I'm really really happy with that. I really like him, and I'm stoked about it. It like made me feel broke this week. I still have to like figure out he needs a check. I'm like, I'm 26 years old. What makes you think I have a check? But no, I'll go to the bank tomorrow and we'll get it all sorted out. But like, yeah. Um so that's that on that. Protest was excellent. I was so shocked. I always never really have really high expectations or hopes for Wisconsin, and they really exceeded my expectations with the election this past week and also the protest this weekend. I'm so happy that Susan Crawford won. Very important election um, for us for as a nation, and I'm I'm really happy with how many people I saw, how many older people I saw in Appleton come to the protest. I thought that was really beautiful. So, and it spanned for blocks. I mean, I couldn't tell you how far it spanned, but it felt like the Oktoberfest um, meeting. So, and like Oktoberfest is like 10,000 people. But it was really, really cool. There was people like manning it to make sure that people were safe. It just was like a very well put together protest. And yeah, it was very cool. I'm very glad that I went because, like, I don't know, for some reason, I'm less invested in the community. Obviously, I'm invested in the nation's community, but like, it's hard for me to feel connected to Wisconsin's local political because I'm so involved at home that I'm like, I can't add more shit. But it's fun to get involved when and if I can. So yeah, that was really fun. Oh, also on my walk today, I was watching the birds and I was like, how, because there's like baseball and softball fields by my apartment, and then there's like forest on the other side. And I'm like, how do those bitches navigate through the branches? I really like, is it like a weird game of like Guitar Hero? It's like Crazy Taxi, you know what I mean? Like, I don't I don't really understand how that works, cuz like, how do you have the foresight to know where you need to bob and weave? You know what I mean? I just don't. Maybe I'm not an agile human being, and so the thought of a animal being agile is weird to me, but like, just feels kind of weird. Additionally, um talked about that. Oh my god, y'all. I've been binging Love Island season 6. I didn't watch it as it was coming out last summer, and I'm finally watching it. I have my friend let me use her Peacock account. um Love her down. Thank you. So I started watching Love Island and I have a few thoughts. First of all the men trying to demonize Serena for crashing out is hilarious to me. Because they're like, you got a mature woman who's not causing you no fucking problems. But please be fucking serious right now. Please be so fucking serious. Serena made it clear from the jump that she is not like, she is a slow burner. She's made it very apparent from the jump that, like, it took them weeks, it feels like, or episodes. I don't know how long in real life it was. It took them episodes for them to finally get to a point where she was like, yeah, I'm interested in getting to know you romantically. And then the first opportunity he got, Cordell was like, and I'm going to turn my eye. Are you fucking. And then the boys want to be like, well, this woman over here. Yeah, because she's got told by producers to do that. She got told by producers that her job is to be a pick me ass bitch. That's her job. That's her role as Casa Amor. What the fuck are we talking about? Oh my God. They hate when a woman stands up for herself. They hate to see it. They truly like them demonizing Leah. I could understand, like, I fear I've been Leah. Like, I understand, like, I think Leah is very well intentioned, and I think that her approach to things sometimes is led with emotion rather than logic, and I totally understand that. However, however, when you have somebody like Rob, dude, I fucking, oh my god, I hated Rob. Like, I'm still watching, and like, in theory, Rob gives nothing to all of the girls. I truly would love, maybe it's something that like I'm not seeing. I don't see anything that's special about Rob. Like, of course he's hot and like elusive or whatever, and girls love that elusive shit. But like, I've never seen him show an ounce of personality, not even a little bit. And his ounces of personality are like cowboy boots and overalls. Like, do you think that cowboy boots and overalls are going to fit into your Calabasas apartment? No, no. Y'all have nothing in common. Nothing. And like, he, oh my God, he gave the, all those girls, by the fourth girl who's like, he just makes me feel so special, I would be like, Okay, but three girls before me felt special too. So what's the tea on that? Maybe this guy is just good at saying the right things. Maybe no girl is actually that fucking special. You know what I mean? Like it people like Rob are just so frustrating because I and every woman I know have fallen for Robs who like give literally nothing to the relationship other than like he looks cute as an accessory. You know, like no good personality, no like nothing going for himself on his own. People pretend like Rob is this big prize, you know. And he's hot, sure he's sexy as fuck. I totally the like snake tattoo is hot. Like I may have I listen. I am but a woman, you know. I totally get it. Um, but as a spectator, it is so frustrating to watch because it's just like, oh, girl after girl is just getting hit by those like puppy dog eyes. And like, yeah, that's about good enough. you know, um, for somebody like him, somebody who's like probably 6'5", pretty built. For those heteronormative folk, that's enough. You know, um, it's just devastating. My personal favorite is Cordell, of course. I was very disappointed in Cordell with the way he acted at Casa Amor. Oh, and my favorite girl is Janae. I would treat Janae better than any man that she's ever. Well, I like Kenny though. I love Kenny. Um, Sorry if you've never watched Love Island. This might be sort of boring, but I don't care. This is my show, so yeah, I would treat Janae better than any man ever could. Do you know what I mean? Like she is the sweetest girl in the whole wide world. And it was heartbreaking for me to see how upset that she was with the Kenny situation. I didn't think that she had like super reason to be that upset, but I also the how she explained it of like she's been taking L after L in Love Island, and it just would have made her feel so much better. Like that should have been taken into consideration. And I totally get that. I feel like as women, we've been conditioned in society to take everyone into consideration when making decisions, and we can't help but do that, even in a setting like Love Island, where men don't have that natural instinct because they haven't been conditioned to be that way. I mean, I'm sure some men have been conditioned to be that way, but like as like society isn't the thing that's pushing them to be like that, you know? So when I think it really bothers women when they're things that come just intrinsically to them because of society, because of whatever, when that's just like not natural for men, it's like, come on, dude. Like, because it's been such a ingrained piece of our identity since we were like literally, I don't know, preteens, that like it feels adolescent for us, that like, well, why wouldn't you think to do some shit like that, you know? Why wouldn't you think to consider my feelings and how my time in the villa thus far would affect blah blah blah, right? And it's rough. It's I think Love Island, especially this season. I am not super familiar with Love Island. There was a season or two I think on Netflix, and so I've seen those, but I haven't seen like the current seasons because I didn't have Peacock before. And so I will go back and watch them. I think maybe I don't know. It depends. I just knew that this season had been really good. I had been a fan of Leah's since the airing of it. I had just not watched the season. You know, I just her social media presence is fun. So um I went in with a bias for her, I think. But what I was getting at was like this cast, I feel like, does a really good job of leveling each other out. I think that they're actually friends. And I think it would be hard not to form genuine bonds. And it's like being at summer camp, you know, like you spend all day every day with these people for 6 weeks or whatever. Like, of course, you are going to be bonded for life almost, you know, like, um, so I think that the dynamics in the villa play such an integral part. That's why Love Island I think is so interesting to me, is because like it's so high schooly. Like you all are friends and you're all fucking and sucking. Like it's so it's so like holy shit, it's a lot. And I don't know. Favorite girls Janae, but I'm like a Serena stan till I die. I To see a woman hold herself and respect herself in such like a high regard and stand on it, um and to watch the other girls like encourage that and not gaslight her with the men and be like she's overreacting. Like all those women have stood 10 toes down behind each other, and I think that's the reason why those men took accountability and like held themselves accountable for their actions. Certainly, like some of the men helped and were catalysts to that, but like you saw some of those conversations. If you watch Love Island, you know, you watch some of those conversations between the men, like they're egging each other on, you know, they're like, it's fine that you have been in a relationship with this girl since day one and you met somebody 5 minutes ago and you fucked her. Like, I think that's totally okay. And you're like, what? And like it's tough because like that is the point of the show or the game or whatever, is like finding your best connection. But if you have like a good connection with somebody, like let's just be fucking honest. Like all the girls in the villa, especially for Love Island season 6, I think all of them were fantastic women. I don't think there was a single bad woman. And I don't like say what you want about them being emotional, say what you want about, but like they care about the people that they care about and they're going to stand 10 toes behind them. And to know that about the women that you've been interacting with for the past X amount of time, and then like encourage your homeboys to be like, but fuck that bitch, bro. You're in here for you. Is that really your friend? And that's why I hate Rob and Aaron so much. Like, but because they're just like constantly in a circle jerk, you know, which like there's only two of them. So I don't know if it can really be a circle, but like, God, those two are 69ing in the back, you know, like it is so exhausting to see it in the first season or first few episodes when Rob and Leo were still like an item. You would see Rob struggle immensely to try to communicate with this woman Leah. Like he would look at her and just like, and as soon as Aaron would come over, he would be like little puppy dog, like happy and explaining everything that's ever been wrong with his life. And I'm like, you like men. You know what I mean? Like if you truly only like women around you for sexual gain, because like I've never really seen Rob talk in depth to a woman. I've never seen Rob have a like deep conversation with a woman. And that's fucking exhausting, but you can do it all the time with your buddies. Like I do think, I don't know if this is going to happen at the end, but I do hope in a lot of ways that like Rob and Liv are very very similar, and because like they've all found themselves struggling in their romantic connections but being a pillar of support for their friends in the villa. And I think, I don't know if those two people need to be together. um like I think it could be cute, I think they could even each other out, but like they play very similar roles in the villa. And I think that's interesting. And they tried to date. He didn't like that she played the same role that he did. And she didn't like that she was as vocal as like he's so disappointing because like he's so hot. So you really want to root for him. Cuz like, you like they just did this like Twitter challenge. One of the tweets was like everybody thinks with some eye contact and like some short answers that this man is just like an onion waiting to be peeled back, and it's pathetic. And like it read the fuck out of me. That tweet read the fuck out of me. And I think all the girls in the villa, like when we see like an attractive, quiet man, we seem to think that like he's like this tortured, like poet type, No, that man just like doesn't give a fuck about you unless it's to fuck you. Like that's really the tea of it. And I like that's not to say that Rob probably doesn't care about things, but like he's like I'm here to fall in love, but I'm gonna have my head turned by every girl who enters this fucking villa. And it's like, well, now do you want to form a relationship, or are you trying to make out with as many women as you can? It's okay to be honest. If that's your goal, then just be honest about your fucking goals, you know? I think Rob is the type of man who thinks that he has to lie to women in order to get them to sleep with him. When if he was honest from the jump, they would just fuck him. I think. I think women are a lot cooler than men seem to think. If a man was like, "Hey, I'm trying to fuck," I think a lot of them would be like, "Word." But that's just my take on that. Anyway, I love Serena. I love her little. That was so hot. Oh my god. Oh my god, I had my last day of improv on Tuesday, and it was kind of sad. I was telling my friend, I called her the other day. It was like the best morning ever. We talked on the phone. I got a little sweet treat, and it was just like the best Friday morning. But we talked on the phone, and we were discussing. Now, what the fuck was I? How I. It was sort of an improv is like the scariest, one of the scarier things I've ever done. Being up on, I know this would shock some of you, um, because it seems like I love attention, but being up on a stage is truly one of my bigger fears. Like every time I've ever had to present for anything, every time like I'm up there shaking. I'm doing it and I'm presenting as if I'm calm, cool and collected, but like I am shitting my pants, bitch. And that's just the difference. Like I'm willing to go up and do it scared. And so I implore you to go do that in your own life. But also, I feel like improv completely because it didn't matter if you had to go up and do it. It didn't matter if it was scary. And the first week I was really really insecure up there, and like I obviously all 5 weeks I was insecure while I was up on stage. Like that's not something that goes away within the 5 2-hour sessions. um and the first week I was so trying to be funny, and I was being like an insecure ass, like just trying to be witty. And that's the opposite of what improv is. Like the whole point of improv is like trusting yourself and trusting your peers to set you up well and to set your peers up well so we can all look funny together. And like really lean into the fact that it is a joint effort to be funny and to, I don't know, it was very, I think that I'm so much more confident. But anyway, my bestie and I, we were talking about it, and I was telling her that like I had almost hoped that it was all old men because like those are settings that I'm comfortable in. Like I know how to interact in that setting. I know how to like that humor, I can cater to that humor, whatever, and like how things are just so much scarier when there are people my age around, and like because I want them to think I'm funny, and I want to impress them, and like I think they were the people I was trying to cater to the first week or so, and like yeah, I don't know. I it was just Improv was a really great experience. There is a 102 class, and I have to look at the dates because I might be in Malaysia for two of them, so it might not be worth it for me to take it. But I had so much fun, and I really enjoyed the group that I got to do it with, and I feel like I like made friends ish. And part of the reason why I even want to do the 102 class is because there are people there that I hope that return, and I would love to see again. So yeah, I don't know. If you have been wanting to do something that has to do with like entertainment or something, try it out. It's scary, but like it's exhilarating. It's exhilarating to get to play a part with somebody else, and like you guys are pretending. I don't know. It's cute. It's fun. Like I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. Um, and like we all were there acting silly together. And like the more that the people around me felt safe to be silly, the more I felt safe to. It was just like it's a very good environment to get comfortable with yourself in. So, if that's something that you struggle with, like if because for me, like especially as somebody who like has lived their life in a bigger body, I have always been like a tall girl. I've always just been like a big girl. And part of that has been sort of like a part of my body problems, of like I am not. What is that Taylor Swift line where she's like, I'm like the big woman on the big monster on the hill or some shit? Like, compared to many of my friends throughout my life, I have been the like biggest one, or whatever. Anyway, so like if you are at all uncomfortable with like spatial awareness, if you're uncomfortable with like any part of that of yourself, and you just want to like feel more comfortable with yourself, I think improv would be like a really great first step. And I know that it's scary, and you don't have to be funny. Like I would say most of the shit that you're up there doing is like your goal isn't to be funny. Your goal is to just like word recognition and like figuring out how your mind works and then how your partner's mind work, and then like doing it together. It's adaptability. I think that improv, there's a lot of good that comes from improv. um and I not it's sort of a cult, so I'm not really trying to employ you all to that, but it's something that I'd like to explore more for sure. And then the last thing I want to talk about this week is we started with Ariana. We started with Intro, End of the World. And then I want to talk about Hampstead a little bit. This is the last song on the album. And when I heard it, it made me think of my ex best friend. And I haven't heard a song in a while that just like, uh, it was so nice. Music is so important. I know that I probably say it every week, but yeah, I love music. Um, and that's that on that. I've been really careful with spending money lately, but I did get the Ariana Deluxe album. And it's in like a little limited edition turquoise. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I love a vinyl. I need to make a list of all the vinyls that I'd like, so that I can like know which ones I have, because I will collect all of Mac Miller's discography at some point. I would really like to do Meg. Meg's another very important artist to me. I would like to do Hobo Johnson. There's some that he did. I don't think he did vinyls for. Um, But yeah, I don't know. I like vinyls. I don't have like a super nice record player yet. I am like, I know people say that like the one brand, it's the brand that we all have, will ruin your vinyls. And I like don't know if that's true or not. Also, I got the Chapel Roan Deluxe. But oh, guys, Chapel Roan. Actually, let's get into it. Let's actually, I I've been trying to figure out how to talk about this because I've been talking about Ariana Grande a lot. And I've been talking about like, and Ariana Grande has like a history with people also noting that like she would blackfish. And I want to like discuss all of that. And I want to discuss it in relation to like Bad Baby and Alabama Barker too. Okay. So, what was the first thing that I was even going to talk about before all that? How did we get there? Chaperone. Fuck y'all. Chaperone did an interview with Caller Daddy where um I have no issue with the shit that she said about her friends with kids. Um I think there's nothing wrong with being realistic and honest about what motherhood is to some women. And for some women, it is one of the biggest regrets of their life. And that's not to say that it's all women, um, but there are Reddit threads that would suggest that many parents regret having kids. And it's not okay. Um, but I think the more that we discuss how hard parenthood is, I think we have been conditioned and propagandized to think that like the American dream is man, woman, two kids, blah 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 blah. And I think that that's just not. It doesn't have to be that way. And so I don't know why we should sell that to people. Because um, most of the parents I know shouldn't have had kids realistically. And I think it's okay to discuss that. But she did discuss something that she did say that I thought was fucking obnoxious was she she went on to complain about how her fans expect her to be a political commentator and how it's ridiculous that she's a pop star and people are expecting her to talk about politics. Um, you know, and this is coming from a woman who's dressed up as Joan of Arc, the Statue of Liberty. She has highly politicized her career up until she reached mainstream fame. So it's a little off color to be like, I don't know why y'all bitches expect me to talk about some shit when that's the reason. That's what you built your fame on, babe. You built your fame upon being the woman who, that would be like me being like, all of a sudden being like, I'm never going to talk about politics again. And you bitches are crazy for thinking I should even expecting that of me. What if I sat here, looked you dead in your face and said that to you? Why do you expect me to talk about politics? Babe, because you've talked about politics since you were fucking 15 years old. That's why. Because you've had a loud mouth on fucking Facebook since you were 12. Okay? Like, duh. Right? Like, and it's okay to want to shift, right? There are ways to do it differently. I think I can't even think of a good example. Rachel Zegler, I think, is a good example. I love her. I saw Snow White a couple weeks ago too, and it was good. I don't know why it was super complained about. Like, sure, it's a little slow, it's a little boring, but like, mind you, Snow White is from 1939. So were we expecting action packed? Like, they barely knew how to fucking do animation, I think. Like, the fuck are you expecting? Anyway, I think she ate it up, loved her. But yeah, she just was like, all of a sudden she did like the Taylor Swift thing where she was like she only discusses politics when it's beneficial to her directly, like LGBT rights because she's lesbian, um, etc. Right? What do you want? What do you want? You've been acting belligerent this whole time. And I don't know. It's just exhausting for like white women to build their careers upon marginalized groups. Like cuz like up to that point then you have shown people of color and like whatever that you're supposedly like a safe white woman, right? And like a self-aware white woman that's like, knows the issues and is trying to help use your white privilege for benefit, right? um and it's like, oh nope, just kidding. And that's disappointing. I do want to get into the black scent and the like black fishing of it all. I don't know if like I have a poised enough take about it. I recently watched a video essay about it, and it was called "The New Blackface," and the account's name is like I forget. I don't know. I haven't watched him a ton, but I thought he brought a decent perspective. I He talks more about the history of rap beef then like I don't know, I didn't finish it, so maybe I'm haven't gotten there yet, but I saw most of it was like the history of rap beef and then like how culturally that is integral, and like talks about like the Jake Pauls of the world, and like how is is beef like a part of hip hop culture? Like it was just like, are you automatically a part of hip hop culture because you're doing rap beef, or is that like, is it a rectangle, is a rectangle a square, or like that sort of thing? And I don't know, it's very interesting. I haven't figured out exactly how I want to discuss it yet. I also like, I think that there's a difference. I think there are different types of white women who like either, it's like the difference between like appropriation, appreciation, and then like I don't know. Cuz like in my head, right, Ariana Grande, in my head Ariana Grande is like happened to just be hanging out with a bunch of black people at some point and then like took on characteristics of the people that she was around. And like I think I definitely think that once she found success in it, she capitalized off of it. Like I think that she kept a lot of, whether it was performative or not, you know, she kept Leon Thomas paid. She kept like Victoria Monet paid. She had Patti LaBelle perform at her like Sweet 16. So like I think that black culture has always been a part of Ariana's life, and like that is just obvious with a phase that she like, I don't know. I don't know how to like talk, as you can tell, I don't know how to talk about it in like a nuanced way yet, where I have all of it in front of me and like I can make an informed discussion about it, because I think that there's like, I think Ariana is like appreciation to the max, and she went into some weird territory. I don't Any black person who has worked with Ariana closely has nothing but good things to say about her, and I really appreciate, I saw some commentary about this on TikTok, I think. I really appreciate that Ariana learns these things from black women, where like I think a lot of times when white women, the Alabama Barker of it all, when white women start to put on characteristics of like the stereotype of black people, um I think that it's to attract black male attention. Most of the time it is because they're seeking black men for whatever reason it may be, and so they start to like um I don't know, they're peacocking a little bit, I guess. I don't know. That feels a little weird to me. I don't like I I don't know. I might not be the best person to be taught, but I think maybe I might be cuz like it's a white woman problem, you know? Um and like then there's like Bad Baby or Danielle. I forget her last name right now. Um but I think that she grew up in the hood. And so like I think some of these characteristics may be exacerbated for clout. Um but like I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of those characteristics could actually be central to her personality because she grew up around people who like that is the way that they express themselves. And like I don't know if it's like a bad thing necessarily. I don't know. I think that I also take on a lot of traits. It's like it's complicated and I think it's just a very nuanced conversation and it's certainly not one that I can do in just like a segment of the podcast. I would like to do like if I were to talk about this in depth, I would like to do like a in-depth analysis sort of. And I don't know. I think it's just something that we should talk about more because it's a thing that happens, but also like how do we differentiate between appropriation and appreciation and whatever? And then like how what are the lines? And I would love to like discuss that more. And like I wish that we it was like easier to have those sort of conversations of like, well, the comfortability of um black folk, the people who are like culture you're appropriating in a lot of ways. Um in all ways. I didn't like whatever. Um I wish it was easier to have these conversations in like a way where it's like black people aren't scared to like offend, you know, of like this shit's weird and it makes me uncomfortable. Like just tell me the line. And I know that like um I know that it feels like it shouldn't be their job, like we should just inherently know. But these are new territories, right? Like integration is new. Not new, but like in the grand scheme of the country, it's newer. So there are things that we're going to have to figure out together and that's something that I aim to do with like this podcast. You know, like I just want to have those conversations. And yeah, I don't know. It's been on my mind a lot. Um, I be playing Miss Whitman like a motherfucker. So it's been on my mind a lot because I'm like, I know that um in my head there's a difference between Alabama Barker. Alabama Barker like grew up wealthy and like she did not grow up around, from what I can tell, many black folk other than like the culture appropriators that are the Kardashian Jenners, you know, like they are the black culture vultures, right? And so she has a you should go watch that video essay. It's the new blackface. That's what it's called. And it's got Bad Baby on the front, which it's a rough track record to have. But yeah, that's all I have for today, I think. I think I'm over it. Dante has been a menace all fucking episode and it's been driving me crazy. So if you could tell, very sorry about that. But um yeah. That's all. Love you. Wash your hair. Wash your face too, I guess. And drink some water. Okay, love you. Bye.